As we start out this second trading day of May, thanks for joining us. I'm Marlon Bowling with you. We're going to be turning to the phones and getting some expert analysis on the grain and livestock market action today. And we're going to bring in Rich Nelson of Allendale Incorporated. And Rich happens to be located in McHenry, Illinois, and we join him now to talk about some of the numbers that USDA released yesterday. The crop progress and condition reports came out, and we can take a look at some of the national planting numbers and see how they actually fared compared to what the trade had been anticipating. And it was a little bit of a surprise. We had the corn planting nationally coming in at 34%, Rich, the 5-year average. 34%, so no change at all from the average. A lot of folks thought we'd be running way behind. Soybeans, 10% planted nationwide, and the 5-year average is only 7%, so we're actually ahead of schedule. About the only one behind schedule is cotton, 14% planted versus a 5-year average of 17%. Grain sorghum, 27% done, the 5-year average 25%. And the rice at 73% complete nationwide compares to a 5-year average of 58%. And on the corn planting progress, the only state that's lagging behind their normal corn planting would be Iowa. They are behind by 7 percentage points. The other states, some of those are well ahead of schedule. So, Rich, did that surprise the trade here overnight?
You know, it sure did. I think the trade more or less said, yes, we do have some issues with this planting up ahead and in many areas replanting, obviously. But as far as last week's progress during that, shortened planting period, there's a lot of activity was undergone here last week. So from the trade's perspective, we do have problems right now with planting, but with this forecast you guys just mentioned, we do have some clear skies in the next couple weeks to make up for any concerns, I guess, in the market's viewpoint.
Well, of course, the wheat quality tour is underway now in Kansas. They struck out on their tour routes this morning, and they'll be going today and tomorrow. They'll head out toward Colby, Kansas today to see what they can come up with along the northern tier of Kansas and the southern border of Nebraska area. Then they'll compare notes tonight, and then they dive down toward the southwest where they had that severe winter storm here over the weekend. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of numbers they come up with.
It sure will be. And one thing we have done is we've gone back and actually looked at the Wheat Quality Council's history on this report or on this tour itself, and usually the numbers are pretty darn good. In fact, with the past 17 years, they've been, in fact, here it is, higher than what USDA suggested in 8 of the past 17 years, and 9 of the past 17 years they were lower. So in general, I think they get numbers very close in terms of how much different from the USDA numbers, maybe 20 to 40 million bushels. Not too bad considering the quickness of this tour here.
Okay, now as we look forward here, we have the corn a little weaker overnight. We have the soybeans a little higher overnight. In fact, we can take a look at our last prices here just to get everybody an idea of what the Globex trade did. If we pull up the corn market, when I came into work, we were down a couple of pennies. We had the July corn showing a last trade 1 3/4 lower at 375 3/4, about the same in December. We're down 1.5 pennies. On the soybean trade, looks like on the soybeans, well, we have the July 2.5 higher at 972 3/4. Meanwhile, we had the November 3 higher at 967.5. So a little bit of a divergence there, kind of a surprise to some folks, but we'll have to wait and see what the weather actually does here over the next few days. Rich, good to visit with you again, and thanks for all the help. I sure do appreciate it, sir.
Great, thank you.
Rich Nelson of Allendale Incorporated. He's based in McHenry, Illinois. We'll be back in just a moment with more market information. Come on back.